Open your ears and lube up your butthole. It's time for the What Do We Call It podcast. Now, here's your host. It's Jmann. Welcome to the What Do We Call It podcast. I'm Jmann, and with me today is... the Dirty Bee. Just that sigh of broken spiritedness. Holy shit, lots of stuff to do with kids lately. Lots of kid stuff. Karate's over. And the Juice did not get her ribbon for stance set. Last class, she sat there with one of the brown belt student teacher kids for like 10 minutes. And they practiced, and she's terrible. She's fucking terrible. And then when it came time to test out, she didn't even want to try. I'm like, all right, fine, fuck your face, don't get it. Yeah. All that work. I worked hard. And then I'm going to test out for my yellow belt. And then I'm going to keep going because class starts up again September 20-something or other. So I have to make sure that I remember all of my techniques. And then I can move up towards orange belt. Hopefully.
Okay.
There was a new precedent set in this household the other day. The Juice threatened Chi-Chi.
How?
I was in my room and I just heard this. If you do that, I'm going to smack you in the face. And then I hear Chi-Chi running down the hall and I hear this. Yeah, you better run. Like, wow, that's
it's new.
It's a little aggressive. So that's like a complete polar opposite of how she normally is, where typically she's just like, don't stop. Daddy, make her stop it. No, don't. And then I yell, I'm like, I'm sick of the goddamn nose. Nose about to become a dirty word in this house. Bullshit. And heard a couple of kids recently.
A couple?
One you know of because you witnessed it was when we were at the playground. And we were playing the jump game where they walk up to the top, highest, most platform that you can jump off of at the playground, and they jump down to me. Typically, my girls are really good at it. Jay was not. So what happened is they took turns jumping, and then at one point, I look away, and I see this blur of his t-shirt, and then I feel his face impact with my left shoulder, bounces off me and pancakes to the ground.
It was a little comical.
It was hilarious. I felt bad for the fact that I thought his dad was going to be upset. Not at all that he got hurt, because it was his own fucking fault. I don't even care how insensitive that sounds. He's 4.
I guarantee the wind knocked out of him so hard that he had no idea what happened.
I'm just glad he didn't break his nose or lose any goddamn teeth, because my rotator cuff felt like shit for like 3 days. It's a hell of an impact. That was like 8 feet, a 4-year-old coming down on me. Face first.
4 feet.
No, it's more than that, because he jumps up and he comes down and then he fucking breaking his goddamn face. That's what you get for not paying attention.
What are you, a dumbass?
Then there was, I was at, this is like, I had like a month ago now. I was at my other friend's apartment and I was talking about karate. And her daughter starts talking about karate too. And just a few times, I'd throw up quick karate, like half chops, like I was going to do something to make her flinch, to be funny. She thought it was hilarious to start trying to chop me. And I'm like, don't do that. I'm going to block it. Or you just don't, I'm trained, you're not. Don't screw around. And I'm sitting on the ottoman while there's the TV on. And out of nowhere, she comes at me like she's going to chop me. And I put my arm up like I'm going to block it. No contact. 5 seconds later, she does chop at me. And I threw up my forearm without thinking about it. And her wrist made contact with my wrist. And she started screaming. I broke a bone. I broke a bone. I broke a bone. I'm just like, God damn it. So I felt bad. Because I thought I was going to get yelled at, not because it happened. Once again, insensitivity or not, it's your own fucking fault. I'm like, that is what happens when you screw around. I work in a jail. I train for self-defense. It's like fucking instinctive. I can't even control it half the time. And then when her mom went to put an ice pack on it, she started screaming like she was getting raped. and stabbed at the same time. Like, you know that shrill girl scream you hear in a lot of horror movies? That, in an apartment. At
Neighbors must have loved you.
It was like 10:02 at night. I sat and watched the clock on the TV. It was 8 minutes of hell. I should have just got up and left the second that she thought that she broke. But I'm like, well, that's my cue. Good night, friends. And, apparently she didn't break a bone, thankfully. Who knows? Nobody took her for a fucking x-ray.
Well.
Did you ever read Tidbits?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the Tidbits?
I haven't read it in a long time.
Yeah. You know where they have Tidbits?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. But you know where we saw Tidbits recently?
El Loro.
At El Loro Mexican Restaurante. And why did I not want to go there with you? Not because you're a sloppy eater and I'm embarrassed to be seen with you in public.
I would say that's the other way around.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a sloppy eater?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't go many places with people.
Anyway, so back in the summer of 2007, I was driving my Ford Escort through a side street. It was starting to sprinkle. There apparently was a new Trace Atkins song on the radio. I have no idea why I was listening to K102 at that moment. But as I get to an intersection, I see a navy blue blur, and I jam on the brakes, and they squeal loud. And then something makes impact with my mirror and breaks it off, and I just hear, oh! Hit a kid on a bike.
Awesome.
So I panicked, and I was like, Jesus Christ. But I think I understand now why when people get into an accident, why their main instinct is to run. It's not because they're bad people. The fight or flight takes over. And you're like, fuck, I got to get up out of here. I didn't run. I sat back in the car for a minute, and then I took a giant swig of water. Because I may or may not have had a little bit of an adult beverage before I left. Because this was during my drinking days. And the big component here is that I was deathly afraid that I was going to get a DUI. Even though I had almost no alcohol. I had a Smirnoff Ice, and or half of one, and I just figured they'd PBT me automatically for hitting a kid. So I was worried. And then I got out of the car, and before I could really say much, here comes a neighbor walking down the street. I'm like, hey, are you okay? Yeah. I'm like, do you need like a ride home or something? Or I tried to get him out of the fucking scene before it became a circus in the street. Well, it became a circus in the street because that neighbor came down and then he fucking called for help. And next thing you know, ambulances and fire trucks, a couple of squad cars are showing up. But not before I got a chance to discuss with him his current condition. He was sitting on the ground and holding his arm. He's like, oh, my arm. I'm like, what's wrong with it? I hit it on your car. I'm like, oh, Christ. I thought I was going to get fucking sued like the second this kid bounced off my car. And then like I notice on his cheek there's a lump. I'm like, well, what about your face? What do you mean? Like, there's that lump on your cheek. He's like, it's like that. Like, what do you mean it's like that? It's just like that. Like you were born that way? Yeah. Right. So we talk a little bit more.
The horrible accent is making the story.
That's what's making it funny. We'll get to that part. So the ambulance shows up. And they sit the kid in it, and I guess the EMT asked him, you know, what were you doing? Why didn't you stop? Because I had the right of way. He blew a stop sign. And the kid tells the paramedic, I thought I could beat him through the stop sign. Gotcha, bitch! He's Mexican, by the way. If you can't tell the impression I'm doing.
By the horrible accent.
I'm not faking it. This is exactly how this little fucker sounded. He couldn't have weighed more than 120 pounds sopping wet. He looked like he was about 5'5". I thought I could beat him through the intersection. Well, you didn't, fucko. And $2,200 in damage to my car. He dented 5 different panels.
Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
The ellipse over the door, the mirror, the fender, the door itself. Here's what happened. his front tire hit my wheel well, which stopped him dead in his tracks and sent him flying off my car like Rey Mysterio doing a suicide plancha out of the ring. That, oh! I heard that in the car like clear as a bell. And if I wouldn't have been so scared, I would have laughed my ass off. So the paramedic is looking at me like, what? I'm like, so he says that he tried to beat me through the intersection. It means I'm not at fault. Please tell me you said that to the cop. He's like, yeah, I told him. I'm like, oh, fucking thank you. I tried to not be a prick, but, fuck this kid. It's his fault. And then his parents showed up, and they were wearing polo shirts that said El Loro Mexican Restaurante. Clearly they work there, and they weren't just Mexican food enthusiasts. So I'm talking to the dad, because now he's at fault. I need their insurance information because my auto insurer is not just going to eat the cost of fixing my car. And I talked to the dad, and I walked up to him. It's like he didn't want to even look at me. Understandable. Your child just bounced off my car. You're concerned. I'm probably the last person you want to talk to, but fuck you. It's not my fault. So I'm like, I need to get your contact info for insurance purposes. So what's your name? So the dad says his name. He's like, I'm like, okay. What's your son's name? Like, no, not your name, your son's name. Like, so you're senior and he's junior. Yeah. Like, awesome. Well, the insurance claims adjuster came right out to Home Depot where I was working that next day and looked at my car and cut me a fucking check. I had never set foot inside El Loro before that, and I never did until the other day when we were there. And I was nervous about going in there that maybe the same people still worked there, and enough years had passed by that this kid would be about 23, 24 now. And we walked in the door, and there was a grown man. How old do you think he was?
Probably around 30.
Okay, so probably not junior. But I was nervous that, like, he might stand there and, like, remember me. I haven't changed my look in, like, 19 years. Same facial hair and haircut. So, somebody hits you with their car, you tend to remember the face. I've seen enough Westerns. And I guess my main concern wasn't, like, he was going to see me and it was going to be, like, Kill Bill. And a fight was going to ensue from, like, old bad blood. I was more or less worried that I was going to find some puebs. Some short and curlies in my entree when it arrived, or they were going to give us some complimentary queso dip that may or may not have been extra creamy near the top.
Ew. Ew.
And we sat down, and I noticed Tidbits up on the ledge, because all fine establishments have Tidbits. And then those people came and sat down across from us.
Yeah.
And you started laughing.
No, I started cringing.
Why? What were they doing that you had an issue with?
Eating chips.
Eating chips. How are they eating chips?
Very loudly.
With an open fucking mouth.
Yeah.
Crunch, 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 crunch. And I guess we should probably point out that your biggest pet peeve, or one of them, is people who eat loudly. And I didn't pick up on it at first. I thought you were listening to the people behind us, and they were talking about sex or something. Like you heard him make some comment about sticking it up her butt, or... Now, my brain always goes to the lowest common denominator. How do I know?
I would have joined in on their conversation.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You would have been like, oh, did you like it when he rammed it up your asshole?
Mm-hmm.
You like getting shithole fucked? Enjoy your meal.
Yeah, if you're going to talk about that stuff out in public,
well,
be ready for...
If you're doing it, you're probably going to do it at a volume that everybody can't pick up on.
Either way.
You're not just like...
You know how many conversations
and then I
I've heard?
stuck my dick in her ass, and holy shit, did she make a face. I mean, maybe if he's drunk at a bar.
Oh, you want to bet? You know how many conversations I've walked past being a server?
Probably about as many as I've walked past being a correctional officer.
Yeah.
I once had a female inmate tell me that her boyfriend used to tie her up to a bed, knock her out, and then fuck her.
Awesome.
Like, I don't know if he
Intentional rape?
Well, no, she wanted to get fucked. He wanted her unconscious for it, apparently. That's what he was into.
You have to wonder what she's like Conscious, I mean.
Just laid out, Christ pose. Maybe tied her legs apart.
I know a few people who like that.
Imagine the sound of a fist into a jar of mayonnaise. Because, like, the muscles aren't tense from being awake, so it's just kind of sloppy. It's also the same sound I imagine it makes when you bang a chick who's over, like, 3 bills. Just that...
Stop.
Suckling juices.
Yep, and that would be just about on the same level as the dude eating his chips.
Yeah. Did that ruin your meal?
A little bit.
A little bit.
It didn't help that they were trying to talk in really bad Mexican accents.
You said you've been to a lot of places where you've heard people do that before. It's what you told me at the table. Don't give me that fucking mysterious look like, what are you talking about?
What, eat with their mouth open, or?
No, people talking, trying to, like, over-pronounce accents.
Yeah.
That's a telltale sign that you're an asshole and you have no culture, is that you go somewhere where you have to pronounce foreign words, and then you think you know what you're doing, and then you way overpronounce it.
No, they weren't even talking like that. It was like, oh, I will have a water, please. Type of shit. I'm tired. Don't look at me like that. Stop
I guess I missed that.
I'm...
Was he talking like he was at the fucking Renaissance Festival?
No, he was trying to talk with a Mexican accent and couldn't pull it off.
Not everybody has the acumen to pull these off, you know?
Shut up. You don't either.
But I do. We came in and the guy's like, hey, good evening, amigo. I'm like, all right, he called me amigo. He didn't say, hey, fucker that hit that kid in the bike.
Fuck you.
I went in for another laser session on my one tattoo the other day. I woke up and immediately jumped in the shower and then applied the cream and then went there. It's supposed to be the numbing cream. And then I got there and I wasn't sure if I used numbing cream or healing cream. So then, like, a debate ensued about what's written on the top of the package of the stuff they give you to numb up beforehand. It either says TO for the healing thing or nothing for the doctor numb. Well, then she shows me this thing that says numb on the container. I'm like, none of mine say that. So she parks me in the chair, and I had tried to, like, deduce whether or not I had put on the numbing cream or the healing cream. I'm like, does it have a smell? She's touching my arm. She's like, do you feel that? I'm like, well, yeah, I'm not like a cripple. Like, but nice. If you touch my other arm the same way, it feels the same. Like, you just fire it up and let's do this shit. So the laser fires up. It hurts a little bit. It's just like it normally feels. It's like being snapped with a rubber band and needles at the same time. It hurts, but it's not ungodly. So anybody that's wondered what laser tattoo removal is like, that's the best way I can describe it. It's like the snapping sound of a rubber band, and it feels like needles are piercing your skin again.
So not a whole lot different than getting an actual tattoo?
Pretty much. It's no worse than getting the tattoo. And most of the time, it's not even as bad as getting the tattoo. So this particular one, I'm sick of it hanging out from under my sleeve at work and get asked what it is. And it reminds me of a period in my life around the time when I met the Beast. So, just done with it. It can go away now. But I go to Invisible Ink in St. Louis Park. You heard him on the radio a bunch in the Minneapolis, St. Paul major media markets the last 2 years. And I started going there because of the radio ads. The price ain't too bad. The place is always spotless. Ashley's the one who runs it there. She's always been super cool. And then I had this girl that used to work on me named Gidget, but apparently she left the industry. And now I got Sarah, who works there, who's my laser girl. Free press for them. Mm-hmm. I wanted to give them some free press. What can I say? There's not a lot of sponsors that would be into a program like this, and now, unfortunately, now you're tied to me. So if you get a bunch of complaints about a guy that rips on Black Lives Matter and talks about women misogynistically, maybe go listen to the Poop Chronicles and shut the fuck up. I'm excited because we're going to play a game. What game are we going to play?
I don't know.
Well, you know, because you brought the fucking tablet. If you're a fan of the Ellen DeGeneres program, they play a game called Heads Up. That is what we're going to do now. We're going to play Heads Up. I hope you got the volume reasonable on this. Is there a specific category we're doing?
What do you want to do?
Random. Random seems to be the most hilarious after we did this in my kitchen. Not accents.
Got Video Game Land.
You're not going to fucking know that.
Really?
Just because it's a picture of Super Mario-esque on a Game Boy doesn't mean you're going to know it.
You have so little faith.
What video game series was Samus from?
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. Metroid. Fuck your face. That movie that Ryan Reynolds was in, that every other role he's ever been in sounded just like that character.
Really?
On a college campus.
Van Wilder?
Yes. Oh, it's that movie with the nerdy kid who fucking wants to feed Tina, the llama.
Napoleon?
Yes. It's the show about nothing's creator's show about even less.
What?
The guy who created Seinfeld.
Fuck, I don't know.
It's a show that was on HBO, I think, and it's just about Larry David's life. Taking a pass. Oh, it's that stupid arcade game where people dance around on a pad.
Dance Dance Revolution?
Yeah, Neil liked that game, and he lost a lot of weight doing it. He's a nerd. It used to be a movie rental place.
Blockbuster?
Yes. A show with Vic. God damn it. How many did you get? Does it keep track for you?
Yes.
It better.
4 out of
4.
4 out of 6.
And when I go down, it's correct, and if I go
guess, yeah.
up, it's pass. We haven't done this the reverse way yet. It's only ever been me describing things hilariously.
Anatomically correct?
What? Just stick with the fucking... Why do you got to switch categories on me?
Because why not? I know I'd win that one.
Right. I'm a masseuse. I know about body stuff. Oh, look at me. She's flipping me off. You're making a grimaced face. You're perplexed.
There are people that play dice at casinos.
Craps players.
No.
Gamblers.
No.
Dice rollers. Gambling addicts.
No, you got the second half right.
Addicts.
No.
Players.
Pass it. They're half fish, half human.
Mermaids.
He's got a lot of songs coming out right now. It's also a male duck.
What the fuck? Howard the Duck.
No.
Daffy Duck.
No. A name of a male duck. Not a personal name. It's also a singer.
Drake.
Yes.
Fucking hate that guy.
It's a green liqueur.
Absinthe.
No.
I don't know.
Midori.
I don't even know what the fuck that is.
First one was High Roller.
Make sure you hold it loud enough so the microphone can hear the thing with the thing.
Do you want me to turn it up?
A little bit.
It's our jobs.
Somebody who sticks needles in your face and body.
Acupuncture.
Yes. A famous person would have one of these that would deal with the media and have every
PR?
have say over their articles.
I don't know.
Not their manager, not their wardrobe person, not their makeup person. Somebody in charge of how their image is portrayed to the lay people.
I don't know.
Taking a pass. Somebody who takes pictures for a living.
Photographer.
Yes. Dorothy and the Tin Man and the Lion and the Scarecrow were off to see the Who.
Wizard of Oz.
Yes. Somebody who manufactures different chemicals. Works in a lab.
Chemist.
Yes. One of those dickhole clowns that doesn't talk and moves around a lot. Yes.
Oh.
What the fuck is going on? Why are there noises? What's exploding?
So I got 5 out of 7. How many rounds of this are you doing?
I don't know. 3.
You're going to pick that even though I probably have no idea, right?
You're going to describe it.
Even if I didn't have no idea who it is?
Yep. Video games.
Brand new game again. Early 2000s has come out again with a brand new version that you play on your phone.
Pokemon.
Yep. You play an instrument, follow along.
Guitar Hero.
Yep. I have no idea what that is. I think there was just a movie made.
Buddy, shut the fuck up. We're gaming.
Also, it sounds Noise sounds with tools.
Noise sounds with tools.
It's 2 names.
Oh my God. Fuck the cat right now. Pass.
You play this a lot for your Super Nintendo.
NBA Jam TE.
No.
Mario World. Super
Close.
Mario All-Stars.
No. It is Mario, but which one?
Mario Kart.
No.
Fuck your face. What was it?
Dr. Mario.
God damn it.
Ratchet and Clank were the other one.
Ah, Jesus Christ.
Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger.
Whatever.
You never would have got that.
No, because I have no idea who that is.
Yeah, your face.
Are we playing again?
Yes, we're going to play. So we have to fill time. I didn't have a lot to talk about. It's upside down. Here we go. The dad of Miley.
Billy Ray.
Yes. The guy who invented Facebook.
Ah, shit. Mark Zuckerberg.
Yes. That annoying douchebag from Punk'd.
Ashton Kutcher.
Yes. That South Korean guy with the annoying dance song. Gangnam Style.
I can't think of what his name is.
You fail. The only member of a certain acting family that's worth a shit. The whole family died in the South Park movie. 30 Rock.
Alec Baldwin.
Yes. That bastard offspring of Will and Jada. Their annoying son. He's a gender bender.
God, I know. Jaden.
Yes. Oh, you got that right at the buzzer.
Yeah.
Yeah, your face.
Your face.
That's a horrible comeback. You just
It
repeated
is.
what I said. Psy. You missed Psy, the Gangnam Style guy.
Are your hands that dry that they can't?
Shush up. Just give me that sass, girl. I picked movies.
Narnia. First Narnia movie.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. You're just making faces. You got to use words.
I
in
don't
this
know
game.
what movie that is.
Damn it.
Ron Perlman played a red guy.
Hellboy.
Yep. It's about a mouse. Became a family member.
Stuart Little.
The orca.
Free Willy. There's actually a movie called Orca, by the way.
Oh, well. It's an old movie made from a book about a monster.
King Kong.
No,
Godzilla.
put together.
King Kong versus Godzilla. Frankenstein.
Which one?
Bride of Frankenstein.
No. Who wrote it?
Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Yes.
At the buzzer.
What is Las Vegas?
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
A horrible movie, I think, where Robert De Niro and a bunch of other old assholes got together and did a buddy movie where they were drunk old assholes pretending it was the Hangover. It's just a bunch of old fuckers. Like Morgan Freeman was there as the token black man that goes to Vegas.
Okay, I got it. So it didn't do well.
I don't know if it did well, but it fucking was terrible. It was Wild Hogs minus the motorcycles in Vegas. Movies. Yes, movies. Movies are good. So many people have already turned this episode off.
Probably.
They are bored. Hold that up more by the mic. Oh, yeah, the bobsled, the Jamaica bobsled movie.
Oh my god. Brain fart.
No, it was not called Brain Fart.
I can't remember.
Yeah, fuck you. Tony Stark.
Iron Man.
Yes.
Cool Runnings was the first one.
Yeah, well, it's too late. Fuck you. That movie with Bradley Cooper and Jennifer Lawrence, and she's a psychotic cunt, and he's an annoying piece of shit, and they somehow fall in love because they're mental.
Silver Linings Playbook.
Yes. A movie about Antonio Banderas dressed like a gay pirate. Not Spy Kids.
I have no idea.
Oh. Scrunchy face chick. What's her name? They're making a third one now where she's pregnant.
What?
This woman writes in her book in the fucking Bridget Jones diary.
Scrunchy
fuck.
face?
Yeah, Renee Zellweger. I couldn't think of the goddamn
got a
aardvark
scrunchy face?
She's got a scrunchy, stupid face, and I want to punch her in
Did
it.
you fart?
Yeah,
Or
why?
did the cat just take a shit outside
It's
the
probably
door?
a combination of A and B.
It's gross.
Did you like that? Did you have a good
No.
time playing the game?
No, until I smelled shit.
Really? You didn't know a bunch of stuff, and that's what ruined the fun was shit?
Just because I have brain farts, because it's what time?
10:28 p.m.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's
hearing a
fine.
lot of sound upstairs. I hope the kids aren't starting fires
Destroying.
or have killed each other.
You'd hear that.
You'd hear that. Hey, you know what's great about the splash pad in Champlin? I'm the only adult that apparently feels I need to run through there like a child.
Hi.
Well, yeah, moms aren't going to do that.
Why?
You're probably the only dad that goes there.
I'm not the only dad that goes there. I'm the only dad that's in the drink, getting all wet and shit and having a good time. Kids are like missing their opportunity to get in certain activities because there's like 12 activities there, different water shooting thing. Kids are missing out because I'm running right away when it turns on and I'm so excited. The worst thing the Beast did was show me that that place existed and that it was free. I just worry that when I go to the splash pad, some of the other parents are going to think I'm like a weird pervert that just likes to hang out with kids. But I'm like playing with my kids. I'm not like standing there. Like when I'm not in the water, I'm sitting on the bench watching. Like everybody else is watching. But it's mostly moms there. Mm-hmm. So when I'm one of only two dads, or the only dad there, it's not like I'm sitting there trying to hide a boner. I don't have like a towel over my lap. I'm not standing behind a tree. I don't stand up and then awkwardly try to like move my legs to adjust it to point it up so that it's not pointing out. Which, by the way, in a swimsuit, if I point it up, it's going to go up over the top of the swimsuit. And nobody needs to see my new belt buckle. Not at the splash pad. Why are you laughing? You're not even just laughing. You're convulsing off the microphone. Because, are you remembering a certain instance where I shocked you with the Italian belt buckle? Surprise! It's a helmet. Nothing's funnier than showing your friends your genitals and they're not expecting it. Years ago, I had an entire party of people at my parents' house. I had like 20 people sitting in their family room. And I'm like, hey, you guys want to see this cut on my leg I got at work? Like, I was picking up this pallet and it fell on my leg and fucking cut my leg. I pulled up my shorts, my right shorts leg, and I pulled my nutsack out of my boxers and just had it hanging there. And people were looking, and my friend little Lindsay, she's like, oh my God. Neil was there, and he just looks, and I almost can't even describe the look on his face. It was like a look of, not horror, but just disappointment. No, more, not disbelief, disappointment. I'm sure he pretty much believed I would do something like that. But like disappointment, like, oh, this is not the type of scenario where I wanted to see what his testicles look like. Are you tooting out there?
That's aggressive.
I wonder if that came on the microphone. There were live girl toots on the show.
It was me in the basement.
Yeah, I'm aware that you're tooting in the basement. There wasn't even a cake involved. What's the fun of a girl farting if there's no cake involved?
That's not okay.
Cake farts. We're getting ready to do this.
It's frustrating.
Cake farts. Interact with the show on Twitter at What Do We Call It? That is at What Do We Call It? You can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/group/What Do We Call It podcast show. For the What Do We Call It podcast, I'm Jmann. And the Dirty B's just shaking your head no. And that's the end.
Oh!
Hit a kid on a bike. I thought I could beat him through the stop sign. Fuck you, it's not my fault.